Mac test 1212. Mac test 1212. This is the Other Room podcast live and direct from Bangkok, Thailand. And we're back.
We back.
And we're back.
Yes, sir.
So finally we're back after after some rookie mistake. So yeah, I have to officially retired Mac test 1212. So since people has been complaining about that, people have been laughing at that. So now I have
Who's
a new.
complaining about that?
You know who's complaining, man? you know.
But it's
Like,
really inconsequential. And
yeah, I know. Like Tajoba has been like, oh,
you've
whenever I
been
hear.
bullied into not saying mic check.
No, no. I just said it actually. But anyways,
Yeah.
so we're trying to find a better way of starting and kicking
Well,
and
still
everything.
the unique way of starting. Like
Yeah.
everybody
so
who knows
maybe
knows.
what else can we use? Mac test or mic test or mic check. Anyway, so let's introduce ourselves. My name is Joe, aka Authority,
My name is Anthony.
and this is the Other Room podcast.
Yes, sir.
And so we have to appreciate everybody. Thank you all for everybody who has been listening, watching us. So first and foremost, let's get started with you, Tony. How was your weekend?
Oh, yeah, my weekend was good. I was out of town for
Yeah, I was jealous,
a
man.
couple of days. Then I got back. Shout out to Mokeru. Mokeru was also out of town too.
Oh
When
yeah,
I was out, yeah.
I haven't seen him for a long time though. So
Yeah, I hit him up like yesterday.
he went to Phuket,
Yeah, he was there too.
and you guys didn't meet.
Yeah, like I didn't actually know, and
Oh,
he was only telling me yesterday, like, yo, when you were at the club, I saw your photo, and I was already leaving that time because
Oh.
he got a flight deal, which is like 300 baht.
why can't I
round
go do
trip
like
is
that, man?
round trip is like 666.
Damn it!
Yeah, which is like 300 baht for like almost an hour 30 minutes flight.
Wow,
That's cheap as fuck. It's like for a round trip of like let's just say 3 hours flight for like 660 baht.
that is really cheap.
That's a
man.
really good deal.
That is a really good deal.
Yeah. So like even Samuel was saying it the other time that there are deals for like 300 baht online.
To go to
Yeah,
travel to Phuket.
Yeah.
The next time, guys, let me know. I haven't been
There are
there.
a lot of like different airlines got deals like Nok Air Asia.
I haven't been to Phuket yet, but I really want to go to Phuket.
Yeah. So
I want to go
flying
there.
is
I just
not-
want to go to see how good the club is. How is the Lucian?
Yeah, I was there, but I didn't really like the music, so I just kind of left after an hour, 30 minutes, because it was just more like EDM and dubstep
Trance
and
and all.
trap,
Oh,
trance
okay.
and whatnot. So I just couldn't deal.
Couldn't
So
deal with it.
I left. So it's more like they only have hip hop on Tuesday or something, because I don't know.
You was there on Thursday, right?
Yeah, I was there on Thursday, and I didn't go out on Friday. I
Friday.
only just went out like for dinner and just chill around.
By yourself.
Yeah.
All this by yourself,
Well,
man.
yeah.
That is a lot to do, man.
Ah.
That is a
Ẹnu mi ló
lot.
fẹ́ gbọ́ pé tíṣà ti kú ni. Ah,
I just want to know,
mo ti
man.
gbọ́
Ah.
story.
You travel all the way from Bangkok to Phuket by yourself.
Yes, I'm a backpacker. Yeah, tí mo kọ́.
Oh yeah. Okay, no wahala. Anyways, mine was my weekend. Like, did I even have a weekend? I had like whole week to myself because I was at Sway when I saw your picture, right? When I saw your IG stories,
Yeah,
and I was like, it was like Andrew's birthday,
yeah.
pre-birthday. That shout out to Andrew. So I was just there, just chilling, and it was Geo sent forth party as well. So
Yeah, I saw it.
yeah.
I saw it.
I was just there, just chilling, normal. One beer from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, 5, 6. And then when we closed, I was still there, with just like hanging around, just playing, drinking more. Then I went to Chow. Chow wasn't
Yeah.
pumping. I was in Chow for like 45 minutes, or yeah, close to. Wasn't pumping. I was like, fuck it, I'm going home. So I got home, just my random things at home, listening to podcasts. And then in the morning when I woke up, Dave hit me up like, "Oh yeah, tomorrow we have a surprise." Yeah, shout out to Dave, my partner in crime, partner in crime. So he hit me up. He was
Dave,
like,
man.
yeah. I was like, "Yo, it's Andrew's birthday tomorrow, and we have a surprise for him. Sway at 9." I was like, "Deal." So I'll get a sway 9:15. I was 15 minutes late, and it turns out it was only me, Dave, with one other guy. So other people was late as well. So I was like, okay. So we started on Friday, right? That Friday we started so slow, just drinking, talking. I was eating chicken wings and shit. So then Andrew came to us like surprise, surprise. So
Yeah.
then the real party started. We just started going really hard, like extremely hard drinking, and then Sweet closes. So me, Dave, and the new manager, Damia. So we're just hanging around for like an hour plus. Then we went to Chow. Chow already closed. So I was like, where? So we went to Soy
What
Cowboy.
time do they close at Chow?
It's something 4 o'clock, something 4:40, something 5 o'clock. I
5
don't know.
a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be like T6 before, but
Yeah,
now,
exactly right.
yeah, but now they're just like, yeah. So then we get to Soy Cowboy. We was just drinking with almost like 3 bottles of beer each. I was like, yo, it was like, yo, I'm hungry. I want to eat. So we went to Soy 4, no, Soy 3. So we went to Soy 3. I don't know which, some Arab restaurant, right?
Restaurant,
So
yeah.
we get there, we just like eating. Then I get back home, slept. Then I was supposed to have a photo shoot with TY. Shout out to TY. So for the Sway shirt and
Yeah, Thai.
Urban Popari streetwear. So we're supposed to meet around like 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. So I woke up 12, and Dave was like telling me like, "Don't forget the photo shooting." And I was like, "Yo, I already up." I was like, "Yo, why are you up so early?" I was like, "Yo, it's been up since they have meeting at Sway, right? They have to go to meeting at
Okay.
11 o'clock. Dude, what time do you wake up?" I was like, maybe 9ish, 9, 10. I don't know. I was like, dude, you was drunk last night.
Dave is a beast,
Dude, I
man.
don't know how he does that, man. Shout out to TY, shout out to Sway, BKK, shout out to Dave, Andrew, everybody that is involved. And I really love this Sway shirt, man. It's like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
nice. It's
yeah.
like nice. And the urban hoodies as well is like, yo,
Yeah, I love the hoodies
I
too,
love
yeah.
the hoodies. Like I love the red one, right? And I get extra one for you as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I love the hoodies, but my problem is I sweat a lot.
Okay.
I sweat so much, and wearing hoodies like, hey, no, I'm gonna sweat my balls off, man. So, with that being said, so let's move forward, man. And again, oh yeah, I have to hear this. So I was told by my reliable source. Let me use Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith's voice, reliable source, that Nigerian guys and girls, I mean Nigerians, hardly watch video that is over 1 hour. Why? Because if the video is not talking about,
Over 1 hour?
yeah, I mean like probably
That's already a lot.
any video that's like over like up 1 hour or over, like our podcast videos, like a lot, right? It's like 1 hour plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they said like if the video is not talking about how to be rich, how to make money, how to be fit, and how to make their penis bigger. So and here we don't talk about wealth.
Yep.
We only talk about knowledge. We don't
Yep.
talk about how to be fit, even when we have a fitness trainer here. uh, and how to enlarge your penis, that I don't know about. I don't even know if that is a thing we should be talking about or that thing is real at all. Do you believe in
Definitely.
penis enlargement?
I don't believe in genitalia enlargement or anything like that because even if it's actually existent, I believe uh, there are adverse effects to it. So personally, I don't believe those things work. So I don't know, but I know there's a continued interest by young people or people who feel insecure
Mm.
by their
By the size of
size. Yeah. So
dude, if you're black, like if you're Nigerian, you're feeling insecure about the size of what you have, then what do you want the Koreans to do?
yeah, right. Exactly. So at the end of the day, even when you speak with women, they're actually more concerned about
Size doesn't
pleasure.
matter, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even about the size or what or whatnot. According to one of the research I read recently, it's like men are more concerned about the size of their genitalia, like their penis, and how to enlarge it. Meanwhile, women are more concerned about the odor of their vagina.
Are
So
you
that
serious?
this is
So
actually
are
this is
you telling me women would just put their hand into? Yeah. A girl once told me, right? After you, I don't know. We talked about um after ladies washing their vagina with soap. That is, it's not good, right? I
yeah
don't know.
yeah
So I was like, I wanted to try this girl. I
yeah
was like, yeah. I was like, why can't you? We're taking shower, and I gave her soap. So I was like,
yeah. Okay,
no,
you
no.
guys were having shower together.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
I actually experiment that, right, to know if she
okay.
knows about
Yeah,
what you just told me. So I was like, no, 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 we cannot. She can't do that with. And whenever she finished taking shower and she come
yeah,
in, she always turn on my fan to dry
yeah,
up. She don't
yeah.
even use tissue to clean.
Okay, yeah,
She's like, it's not good. Like if clean with water,
yeah,
they turn off the fan and just like let it dry. Like that. I was like, oh,
yeah.
I'm learning. I'm still learning every day. It's like every day learning.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of those quick tips online that you can read about how to avoid having uh, a vagina odor or whatnot. And also, there's also been tips online about that you have to wash from front to back and not from back
To
to
front.
front.
Oh, there's a
And
process to
yeah,
that.
exactly, because then you might just end up bringing like and bacteria from your ass,
From
yeah, into your
I
vagina.
got it. I got
So
it. I got it.
exactly.
I got it.
So it's I think it's a really meticulous system where women really have to be careful. Like
Mm.
there's so much to it compared to like with men. You just shower, you just wash yourself with soap, and
Yeah, you good. Yeah,
then
you
you
good.
just dry yourself up, and you're good. But with women, they have to pay attention to all of these details just to avoid it. So the research is actually based on Google searches in the United States. So they discovered that more men are concerned about the size of their penis, while women are more concerned about the odor of their vagina.
I know why women are so concerned about the odor of their vagina, because right around nowadays, like women, I think they don't like experience real orgasm based on how hard you fuck them.
Yeah,
It's like how low you can go down on them. So
yeah. So exactly. So you don't really want to go down
yeah, I was
on
like,
something that's smelling
oh.
like fish and ammonia. You know, like I've actually seen on Twitter
Oh man.
Nigeria, right? Like,
Mm.
oh, it's smelling like fish and ammonia.
Oh shit.
So I was like, how did you come up with this? Because I was just laughing. Then when I was reading the research, right, I saw that the vaginas have different odors.
Odors, yeah, it's
One
different
is
odors.
fish, another one is ammonia, and there are like
You had
five, six different
pineapples?
that I was smelling, and I was like, oh,
Oh.
okay. So then it actually kind of piqued my interest in the sense that then a substantial number of women are more concerned about their vagina odor, which means that maybe they probably sense it.
Oh yeah.
Either from they can sense it themselves, or maybe they were told by their significant other, or maybe by the actions of men. Because if you with a girl that has a vagina odor, right, you don't
Nobody
really
want
want
to
to
hit
go
anymore,
down
man.
hard.
Nobody want to hit anymore. It's not
Exactly.
even like.
So
I mean, I have this attitude. Like if even I don't like my dick doesn't go first.
yeah,
I have to go
you
like my finger first, then I smell it. I smell it. That's
yeah.
what turns me on. Like if I smell it and I can't, oh, I'm like, yeah, man. I was like,
Yeah, it's like it's a
nah,
huge turn off.
nah, nah.
Yeah, like for girls, right? That's one of the things that really turn guys off with girls. Like you just feel like you're doing the right thing. Like everything is right for you, like showing affection to the guy and everything. But why is he not reciprocating that? Why
Yeah,
is he avoiding me? Why does he feel like he's not attracted to me? But
the-
sometimes it's just because of the odor of your vagina, that just makes him feel like, oh shit, like, you know.
oh
So
man.
I kind of guess that's one reason why women are really concerned and insecure about that and try to make sure like they put their body in order.
Mm.
So just to really piggyback to the initial conversation, which is about content creation, then consumption. right? And like we talked about on the last episode, we talked
Yeah,
about a
yeah.
few reasons that may be why people don't really watch an hour long
Podcast.
podcast video and whatnot. But then, if you look at Nigeria, it's a place where everybody is trying to get up the economic ladder.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're
that's
looking
fact.
for tips on how to do that, and I don't really mean tips that are very theoretical in nature. They're looking for more tips that are very practical that can immediately fetch cash.
Mm.
So that's what they're actually looking for, like something very close to MMM.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what they're looking for.
Open tight, and pastor telling you, yeah, if you pay this tight, you promise this amount of money in the next month, you will have it double.
Exactly. That's why you have people who are actually taking money and giving it to the church with the expectation that God is going to double it.
It's
God
not
we serve
double.
is not a money doubler. So I don't know how people have been so
Oh
brainwashed
man.
to have this kind of thoughts where they just feel like it just comes down to the amount of power that religious leaders in Nigeria have. That's one of the reasons why I feel like this kind of attitude pervades the air in Nigeria. And also to talk about um what's that? Penis enlargement, then sharing of money and whatnot. But I feel like some of the major issues when it comes down to content consumption is the availability of electricity,
Oh yeah, that
then
is one of the
data.
major. Yeah.
Exactly, because those to me are two most important things. And if you create content that people can relate to,
But
because
they
take
don't.
it or leave it, most of podcast listeners in Nigeria are millennials.
Yeah,
They are young people.
young people. Yeah.
So, and with young people, right, oftentimes they have iPhones, Android phones, and they have cars.
Yeah, that's
So
fact.
there are different ways for them to listen. But do they really have the data to download or to stream?
No,
And do they have the electricity to want to listen to these things because of their battery?
no.
That's why you if you even look at someone like was it was it a governor or was it Fashola that was walking around with a power bank, for goodness
Are you
sake?
imagine? Can you imagine? Are you saying?
Yeah. And guess what? People in Nigeria defended that oh, even other leaders around the world walk around with power banks. So to me, it's really tiring talking about political issues in Nigeria. So I try to stay away and just keep it more about popular culture
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah.
Because
That is what.
so
But there's no, as a Nigerian, there's no way we can hide from talking about politics.
yeah,
Like this,
exactly.
like
Because
it's so, the country is so messed up right now that you can't just let things just slide like that. We can't just talk about the fun part of it. And politics is becoming our day-to-day experiences. Like it's become, even though we not experience like the kind of politics they are, our brother sister families are experienced back home, but here we still have to be concerned, right? In a country where nobody gives a shit about anything, like
yeah, definitely.
the politicians, the people in power, they don't care about the masses. Like we still have to talk about it. Like imagine Hensma be killing every day. There's nothing. They're not doing anything about that. The how is it called? SARS harassing citizen every day. Nobody's talking. Like the government officials are not doing anything about that. So we just have to, just a little bit, not like, even me to the, like, talking about politics is like so depressing. I don't want to keep it busy. I call it serious face all the time. I just want to laugh. I just want to have fun. I just
Yeah,
want to have
as much
fun.
as I want to have fun on the podcast, like the issue of the political issues about Nigeria is very depressing. Like
Very, very
it
depressing.
really just gets me in my emotions. So my own way of trying to like avoid that and be cool is just not to really dwell on it because
Yeah.
there is so much that you can unpack when you want to talk about how things in Nigeria is so bad. Like, and just like we're talking about consumption of podcasts, right? Either way, you need electricity to be able to like power your mobile phone or whatever electronic gadget you're using to listen to a podcast. And then it's not readily available in a country whereby everybody uses generator, even
Generator, yeah.
even public offices and parastatals use generator, and you go down to even a police station, or police stations have generators that are chained. So even the police station have to secure their own generating set. So that should tell you
Oh,
the
man.
amount of insecurity. It's like the people who are supposed to protect you are people who are actually finding other
All our
means
means of protecting
protecting
themselves.
themselves even within their own abode, which should be fortified. Because you feel like, who is that criminal
I'm not
that
even
will want
sure
to
if there's
even
any CCTV camera in any police station around Lagos or
nah,
like in
nah.
other places.
There was a contract in Abuja that was awarded to, I think, ZTE and whatnot, about CCTV on the streets of Abuja, but I don't know if anything happened to that. I
So are
haven't
they
been
even
to
do
Abuja in like
apart from that, right?
10 years.
So are they even doing anything about like using solar system to power some places in Nigeria at all?
No, it's just the only thing I know about, like, in recent time is that of this company, like a private enterprise that's powering markets.
Oh, okay.
So basically, they just go to a market, they provide solar power, then people who can pay, then they subscribe, like they connect to the solar power grid. So their shops are being powered. So at this point in time, it's just for markets. I think it's been done in a market in Ibadan.
Oh, okay. That is
Yeah, it's been
nice.
done in Ibadan and one other place. So that's because there is a need for electricity, right? So
Yeah.
there is a need for it, and a company feels like, okay, if the government is not really doing anything in this regard, then maybe there's a way for us to monetize it. Because take it or leave it, a lot of the shops in the market, I think every shop need electricity.
Electricity. Yeah. That is
Either the
fact. That is
barber,
fact.
even
That is
either the
fact.
boutique, either the woman who is selling ogbono, or the one who is selling soda drinks, or zobo, everything. The one who is selling tomatoes, the one who is grinding tomatoes and everything. So everybody needs electricity anyway, no matter what business you are doing in a market. So the easiest way for that is to provide for electricity. So, and that's one of the things that a lot of people have been saying, that if there is a better mode of transportation and the electricity in Nigeria, then the economy will peak. There will
Yeah.
be an economic boom because a lot of people will be able to do a lot more.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And also, if there is electricity, it will also reduce our carbon emission
Yeah. That's fact.
from
From using
generators.
generators. Yeah.
So either way, we're just killing ourselves because we're making the country inhabitable for people who are going to live there in the next 50, 70 years. So if the government can provide electricity, then a lot of the households in Nigeria, the millions of households, won't need generating sets. So either that way we're able to cut down on the carbon emission, and the resulting effect, that's global warming.
And also, right now, I think a lot of people like people are started moving out of the country as well. Like everybody with
In droves.
skilled people are all started moving out
Yeah.
because the country is not even encouraging at all. It's not like so right now after my study, you want me to go back to Nigeria and do what?
Initially, right, when I went home last year, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna come back and do my NYSC for my youth service, right?
Hmm.
But when I went back home and I saw the reality of things at home, then I'm like, is this the place you really want to come back to? Because even after just 2 weeks of being at home, I felt totally dumb
Hmm.
because I couldn't really access so much information because my internet was crawling basically. A 4G internet was crawling
Yeah,
like
4G.
it was. I don't even know. It was worse in every place that I go to. You know, when you feel like, okay, now you're in Lagos, that everything should be okay.
Yeah.
But it was the same way it was in Lagos, the same thing, the same way it was back home in Ayeto and
So
in other
nobody's being
places that
held
I
accountable
visited.
for that.
Exactly. And you expect that the National Communication Commission holds Globacom responsible for providing poor services for the people and charging them exorbitantly. So I don't that's one side. So after going home, then I felt like, do you really want to come back
Do you
and
really want to do
serve
this,
this
man?
country for like 1 year? So and also to talk about what actually necessitated this conversation, which is brain drain. I think it's a common occurrence for everybody now, and there is no way that we can deny that we are starting to lose our professionals to UK and
And
Canada.
Canada, yeah. A lot of people are moving to Canada in mass, man.
Yeah. We're starting to lose our professionals to them, and the mostly affected of all these are doctors.
Yeah.
So already Nigeria is a country that I can't remember specifically, but I think we have one doctor to 5,000 people.
One doctor to 5,000 people?
Yeah. So now imagine if you break that down
Wow.
with this mass exodus of professionals to UK and Canada, then probably it's going to be like one doctor to 10,000 people.
People.
And the youths do not even see any viable option of this country moving into the right direction. So the youths who we graduate early as doctors, they might also be looking for a way out.
Yeah, yeah.
And
gonna do
while
that.
we're talking about this, a very small country like Cuba is sending hundreds of doctors to Africa on humanitarian
Humanitarian
mission
mission.
every year.
Can you
Every
imagine?
year. So Cuba is sending doctors to Africa to help Africans. And what are we doing? Our homegrown doctors are leaving us.
man.
And you can't blame them. Because at the end of the day, the first instinct of a man is survival.
Yeah.
So they're thinking about how to survive and how to help their families. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these doctors are not even paid timely.
Hmm.
They don't get paid their salary. They don't get paid their allowance on time. And even the ones who want to do the right things, we just don't give them the enabling environment to do it. You know, I've seen doctors complain about losing patients.
How?
Like complaints, like when people die under their care.
A
A doctor doesn't want a patient to die because that's their ethical code, and they know what they are going into. Because once a person die under your care, you already have that number against you.
Yeah.
And you already start to even blame yourself and think, what could I have done to make sure this never happened? And now, at the same time, there are things that are beyond your control. A doctor was talking about something online whereby a woman was rushed in and certain things had to be done. And the family went to meet one of the cashiers and whatnot to get paid. And the cashier was like, oh, I'm eating. I have to finish eating my ewedu or whatever before I can
do
attend to
anything.
you. And without payment, there was no way they were going to commence
The treatment.
treating the patient. So by the time they were done with all of that stress, they paid for the oxygen and everything. By the time they came back, the person already gave up.
Fuck.
And the doctor felt like if it is not because of the bureaucracies and the negligence, that I would have been able to solve or help this patient leave. So, and these things, the thing is, that person already have like, okay, one person have died under my care who shouldn't have died. And these things start to weigh you down mentally. You start to think about, how do I stop this? But you can't, because there's already a rigid bureaucracy that, okay, this is how this should be done. And people are just lackadaisical in their approach to things. Like, even when you go to local government headquarters to get things done, they don't care about you. So for now, which is a life or death situation, that doctor is thinking, how about if I move to UK,
where there's facility,
where there's facilities
where
that
people take their job serious.
Exactly. Where a patient who's coming in, nobody asks you to get paid or anything because they know that everybody probably has an insurance.
Yeah.
So either way, it's about saving the life first. But in Nigeria, it's about deposit first. So we're putting the cart before the horse, which is like you have to pay money first
before you saved.
Exactly. Which is not the same thing here. If I go to the hospital, even the emergency
you clear
unit
the
or anything,
bill after you've
been treated and you feel good to leave. So, but it's not the same thing in Nigeria. And we have these people who have friends abroad. They speak with their friends. The media they've used their phones or whatever connection they have to be able to see the media and see that things are done differently elsewhere. And who doesn't want to get involved? There are Nigerians who've gone abroad on tourist on tours or just visiting or on holidays, and then they happen to just stumble on university campus, and they just go around and they see the difference between the educational systems abroad
Come
and
on, man.
what
There's,
is
you
what
can't
is
compare. No,
obtainable at home.
you can't compare that, man.
Exactly. So we're talking about brain drain that professionals are starting to leave us. Even the young generation are starting to give up
To give up as well, yeah.
because they can't just find any ray of hope in the country to want to stay. So and
That's
that's a
fact.
big problem. As much as I understand that there's a problem with the government, at the same time I also understand that one of our major problems is weak institutions. And when I'm talking about weak institutions, I'm talking about the everyday people who work for these institutions. Just to go back to local government that I was talking about, if you go to a local government office to be like, okay, I want to go get my certificate of birth
Oh,
or a national ID or anything, and when you get there, maybe you get there as early as 8 or 9 a.m. to be like, okay, so I can get this done early
LA.
and do other things with my day. And then you discover there's basically nobody at the office. Then people start to turn up like 11, 12.
Oh,
And then you're like, these people are civil servants. They are being paid by the government. And even after that, they are supposed to provide a service for you,
hmm.
but you are at their mercy. You basically have to beg them. And at the same time, for them to even process your documents, you have to
Have to
also
pay.
bribe.
Yeah.
It was just like when I went back home to Osun State Polytechnic to get my national diploma in mass communications. And the way they were basically treating people. I know that has always been a consistent way of treating students and whatnot. And I was feeling like I came back home to get this certificate not because I need it. I already got a bachelor's degree. I'm already working on my master's, almost writing my thesis at that point. So you acting a type of way towards me, trying to frustrate me, towards trying to also get as much money you
You
can
can,
from me
yeah.
because I want a national. My life does not depend on my national diploma. I've never applied for a job with it. Like I'm never gonna do anything with it, but I just want to have it because of the
Yeah.
Dino Melaye scandal.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
he didn't graduate from Ahmadu Bello University or anything, or something like that. So that was why, and there was at a point I had to vehemently tell the guy because you have to go to different points
Hmm.
to pay so many different fees. Like you have to go like almost 10 kilometers from the polytechnic to go pay some certain fee
Feels and
to
come
a
back.
particular branch of Wema Bank. It
Ah.
has to be at that branch. So
Yeah.
okay, now let me even give you let me even divert a little bit. So I went to Osun State, right, with Ade, DJ CSE. Shout
Ah.
out to my homie, DJ
Did you
CSE.
see? Yes.
Yeah, that's my own boy. So we're looking for hotels around Ire.
Oh.
And okay, the first hotel we found, then I asked them, like, okay, okay, I saw the room and I was like, okay, it's Ire anyway. So first, when we're walking to the hotel, there were like 2 dozen teenagers. They were smoking weed.
Right in front of the hotel.
Yeah, like they were all smoking weed, and I was like,
This place
what?
is not safe.
Like this place is not safe. Like I know, like I've been there before. I've lived in that town for like 3 years when I was studying there. So I was like, what? So I was like, anyway, I'm a big guy, so they probably not want to even do shit.
Yeah.
So I went to check the rooms. After checking the rooms, I was like, okay, I like the room. How much is the room and everything? Then here's the catch. They're like, oh, they're gonna put off the generator by 1:30 a.m. So then I was
Wait.
like,
1:30 a.m.
yeah, because there's no electricity. So
So then you spend the rest of night sleeping in darkness.
yes, you spend the rest of the night sleeping in darkness and you're cold, like everywhere is hot. So you basically have to struggle through the rest of the night. I was like,
Nah.
no, this is not
Nah.
working. Then I was like, which other hotel do I know around here? Because it's been a couple of years. So I was trying to call some of the friends that just graduated and everything, like to recommend. Then I just couldn't wrap my head around because it was getting late. It was difficult getting motorbike
Motorbike or
to
taxi.
run around.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be doing all of that at that point. And especially the fact that I had Ade with me. So I was like, okay, let me go to one that I also knew back in the days. So I just went there. Man,
What happened?
it was really like that was not a hotel, man. Like
It's like shit hole.
that was a shithole. That was a shithole. That was not a hotel. Like I just felt like okay, as long as I can just put my head to sleep and just wake up in the morning, then I'm good. Because at that point I was already exhausted. So I just told Adi like, let's just sleep. Let's just sleep and whatnot. So we slept. We woke up the following morning, and like I said, you have to pay different fees before you can finally get your certificate.
Certificate.
So one of the fee was like the convocation fee because when I was in Thailand, they did the convocation.
Oh, okay.
So which was when they would have given me the result
The result.
initially. So I had to go pay that fee at Wema Bank in is it Iragbiji? That's the town that allegedly they said Bola Tinubu is from. Because they say Bola Tinubu is from Osun State. So his parents are from Iragbiji. So I was in Iragbiji to pay. So we woke up very early in the morning so that we can pay all of that fees
and just go
and
back
be able
and
to
get
go
things
back
done,
to Ondo State that same day. So while I was doing that, I already contacted one of the guys that we studied together who is now working on campus to do some other runs for me. So like I'll just pay him. So when we got there, two of us, DJ CSE and myself, we were waiting for the bank to open. Just right next to the bank, there's a police station. You can already guess what's gonna happen. So your guess is as good as mine. So
man.
while we were waiting there, one of the police officers came out. And I just wasn't looking at him. Then CSE was looking at him. So he was doing his hand pointing towards us, like gesture with his hand, like come
here.
And I wasn't looking like if you want to talk to me,
come here,
then come here and talk to me. Like you can't be pointing your hand at me and like saying come. Like I'm an adult. Like you have to address me like one. So CSE was telling me like, oh, this officer is calling. I was like, let him come here if he wants to talk to us. So why another one was looking at us and whatnot. So he came. He said like, oh, we should follow him to this police station, which is just right next to the bank because he came outside of the station initially. So we went right into the station with him. So then they started to question us like, oh, where are you from? This and that and that.
What are you doing here? Oh,
listen, I used to study here back in the days. I came here to pick up my result. I don't live here. I woke up early to be able to pay these very early so I can get back and do other things. Like they said, oh, because you guys look different. And I know I'm a target because of my beard.
Yeah.
So I know that was the initial reason why they called us, because they felt like maybe we were just doing reconnaissance for some armed robbers who were probably because
come on,
I understand that the banks in those areas, there are bank robberies in those areas like very often.
Oh, okay.
So around Iragbiji and Ikirun. So bank robberies happen there often. So I kind of understand. Even though there is a police station right next to the bank, that doesn't stop anything because once they come, they attack the police station first.
Oh.
So the police officers run into the bush. So when they run into the bush,
so they go,
then
they attack, then there's nobody can stop them.
Exactly. So they were saying all of those things. They were like, look, because I had all my documents with me, my passport, everything. I was like, look, I just came into the country last weekend. This is what I'm trying to get. Look at my return ticket. So I have no ulterior motive of being here at this time. I'm just trying to get things done and go back to Ondo State as soon as possible. So they were like, okay, it's all good. Like, you guys are okay. So, the usual, I'll just find something for us. So I think I gave them 1,000 naira, which is like 500 naira, two notes. So I gave them. So we walked back to the bank. At this time now, the bank was now opened. There was a line for people to enter. So while we were on the line, so one of the guys now came to meet us, which was the guy who initially called us, the officer who initially called us.
Yeah.
So he kind of struck a conversation with us. about, oh, where are you guys from in Ondo State? Then we said we are from Ilaje. Now, interestingly, here is where it got interesting. He said he's from Owo.
Oh, okay.
And now,
From Ondo State.
yeah, he's also from Ondo State. He said he's from Owo. So then he was like, oh, Ilaje. Ilaje is owned by Ijos.
Come on, man. Stupid.
As in that moment, I was like, oh, it's too early for this. Like,
stupid.
because personally, I was just trying to like get out of
Yeah.
Osun State that day. So all of my plans is just to get this done and just go back home. So the moment he started, I just let DJ CSE pick it up with him. Like, oh, Ilaje and Esaodo are owned by Ilaje and Apoi people and not by Ijos. Like, so it's like, oh, Ilaje is owned by Ijos and whatnot. So at that point, then I was like, so are you trying to say that in Yoruba land, that Ijos own lands in Yoruba land? Like, how does that actually sound to you? Like, because the Ijaw people are different people. They are a different ethnic group.
They're from Bayelsa, from Delta State. Not if they're not even from Delta State.
It's Bayelsa and River State.
Yeah,
that's
Bayelsa
where they predominantly from.
Yeah.
So he decided to just go on with the argument. I just felt like I'm just trying to pay cash and get out of here.
I don't have time for this, right?
So I don't have time for this. But I just thought it's ignorant for someone who's from the same state not to actually know the ethnic spread of the state. To know, okay, these people, if you basically, if you don't know the history of a state or of a local government, you don't need to dabble into things you do not know.
You don't know, yeah.
You could actually easily ask an innocuous question like, oh, so is it the just own Ilaje or whatnot? And then you just get, oh, this is what happened. This is how the just came to live in Ilaje and all of that. So we just ended the conversation. We went in, we paid, then we came back. So back to the normal story, which led to all of that. And which was now, after paying all of this, people started to demand for bribe so that I could be able to get my result the same day and everything. And at a point, I got really frustrated. And I was just like, if you don't do this thing, I'm going to leave this result for you guys and never come back to pick it up. Because I'm not bribing you too. Like, I'm not tipping you or for anything. You're doing your job. And my duty is to pay you so that I can get my certificate. So I'm paying you. I'm not giving you anything extra. So at that point, he had no choice to just be like, okay, bros, okay, you know. They start to call you bros in a way of trying to like manipulate you to want to be generous with them.
Just so unfortunate, man. I don't know, man. Even going back home right now, I don't know. Going back home right now is a big thing for me, and I'm so concerned about. I want to see my mom so bad. You know, I'm so concerned about my family. I want to see everybody, you know. But going back home is like, yo, if I have a chance, if I have the money, I have everything I want, I would just move everybody out of the country and just come here. Because I remember the last time, the last time I went back home and I was coming back.
Yeah.
And I got stopped by immigration. Like, I was coming back to board, right? I got stopped. And I was like, yo, guy, you have to give us some. I was like, can't you see my student ID card? I'm a student.
Yeah.
Going back. And I still have to give you money. You work in the at the airport. I have to give you money. I was like, yo, man, all I have here is money to exchange in dollar and to take taxi from airport back to my house. I don't have anything to give you right now. I don't know. Maybe if I come back next time.
Yeah, exactly.
If I come back home next time, maybe maybe I'll look for you and give you something, man.
That's one part of the weak institutions we're talking about. Like, it's not the Buharis, it's not the Ambodés, it's not the Mimikos or the Akeredolu that mans the airport. It's everyday people like you and I.
Yeah.
It's everyday people that have kids like us. They have family, they have wives, they have husband, they have brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, and uncles like us. They are not powerful people. They're just people who have been empowered by the government to take care of our borders. But at that point, the moment when you get to the airport, the first thing is the NDLEA. Not even before that. At the gate entering the airport, I don't know where this is a rule in anywhere in the world where people cannot freely enter an airport
without the military or the police stopping you.
Yeah. And even at that, if a person is traveling, they have a maximum of 2 people to accompany you into the airport complex. Yeah.
There's a limitation in
Yeah,
Nigeria.
that has already been since 2013. So any
Jesus.
other person who's going into the airport
Has
have
to
to be able
wait.
to tell you that they have to show their ticket that they are flying, or if they are going with you, then they have to tip. Not even
Damn.
tip. They have to bribe the military officers or the police so that they can let them in with you. So there's a maximum of 3 people. That is you who's traveling and 2 other people that can follow you into the airport. That has been the case since 2013, and I still experienced that 2017.
Yeah, I think
But
I
the
experienced that in
But the good thing,
2014 when I went back
it
home.
was like that. So you have, and I remember when I already got in, when Egboleke was coming to give me some things, and he had no evidence of showing that he was flying. He had to bribe
Oh,
to
come
be able
on,
to
man.
get into the airport. And airport is just like a free place for every other person to like just walk into. But in Nigeria, no. And they'll tell you, oh, it's for security reasons. Like,
What security
what
reasons,
security
man?
reason?
They
So,
don't have anything on them. There's no gun, nothing.
so
Nothing.
that's like the
What
first step.
security
You have
reasons?
to pay there. And now when you start to like check in your luggage, the NDLEA pops up and the custom. And that's where they be like, when they find anything like palm oil, like rice,
Oh
yam or anything, they be like,
yeah.
oh, guy, you have to pay.
You have to pay.
Okay,
You have to
if
declare this.
Yeah,
You have
declare this.
Come on,
They,
man.
what they're trying to do is that they are intentionally trying to delay you so they can frustrate you into paying.
Paying, so
If
you don't want to miss
insist-
your flight.
If you insist that, okay, you want me to pay, then where's the receipt so I can pay? So I know it's official. They'll be like, oh, then you have to take your luggage, you follow us to the office. By the time you do all of that, you're definitely missing your flight. So when they want to collect the money from you, they have a newspaper. So they'll open the newspaper, you put
Just
the
put
money
it
inside, and they'll
inside,
just fold the
cover it.
newspaper. So that's
strategic,
that's
man.
the second point where you pay.
Oh, man.
And now when you finish doing when you finish with checking and you're trying to board, the point where you pass through the immigration, if you're a first-time traveler, you have to disvirgin your passport.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, they will hold
They
you for
took-
everything.
I think they took $100 or $200 from me.
I pay 100.
Yeah, so you have to disvirgin your
I paid
passport.
100. My first time.
That's the same thing that has been happening for over a decade. If they see from your passport that you've never traveled, they'll hold it because they know you're a first time traveler. You don't want to miss your flight,
Oh,
so they'll hold your passport and they'll be like, "Oh, you have to drop something. You have to drop something. You have to disvirgin this passport for us." It's so when you're done with that, the person who is okay, probably the NDLA and the custom and those other ones, they're seeing you when you're giving to the immigration, when you're disvirgin your passport.
yeah. So
When
they-
it's time for you to pass through
they
them,
have to take theirs too.
you have to take theirs too. And the thing is, you have these different government agency in the same airport. And in all other airports around the world that have actually taken flights from, they don't have all of
Nobody.
this,
No.
all of these
No.
red tapes.
No.
It's just the immigration check where they just check your body and everything, and they see that you're okay, your documents are okay, you're gone. That's it. But in Nigeria, after you finish disvirgin your passport, then the next step is where you scan, and that scanning is by NDLEA.
As well.
Exactly. They will request for their own money, and after that, the next one is probably, I think, is the custom or something else, where they will ask for your declaration of how much you have with
You have.
while
Yeah.
you're going.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
from
know,
that money they see with you,
they still want something.
They still want something.
And they will tell you. I think they know actually what the BTA of each country. If you go
Yeah.
to some country, this country need 2,000. Why do you have 1,500?
Yeah,
this country
exactly.
need 2,000. Why do you have like 3,500?
And even with not having the enough amount, they'll still take away from it.
Exactly. Yeah, they will take away from
They know,
it.
okay, the country you're going to demands for $2,000 and you have $1,500. They will still take from that $1,500. So
And if you have over, they will ask why do you have so much money?
So this is exactly right. Then they'll be like, "Oh, you have to fill the form. It's
Yeah.
money laundering and all." And then at that
Oh
point, you
man.
probably start to panic that, "Oh, I don't want to get into trouble." Then they'll be like, "Okay, give us the extra that is on it." So there's just so much corruption going on. So this corruption is not even from the top. It's
It's from the
probably
grassroots,
lower
man.
or
Yeah, it's from
mid-level
grassroots.
corruption,
Yeah.
which is due to weak institutions. And there are cases where if you hold your ground, if you've got nothing to lose, then they already know they'll just let you go. But for people who are naive, people who are in a hurry to make sure they don't miss their flight, they have no choice than to just succumb to that and be like,
Mm.
okay, just take. Because I remember last time when I was coming, I didn't give anybody anything. I was just like, I'm a student, so here is my documents. If you want to check anything,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So even when I saw the NDLEA, oh, okay, you're going to Thailand. What do you do in Thailand? I'm a student. They looked through my document. It was like, okay, we wish you well.
Though I always show my student
Student
ID
ID.
card. And I'm
So
like,
they were like, okay,
uh-huh.
then cool. And even at that, there are people who will still be like, oh, bros, drop something now. Bros, do this one. You're working, like, you're doing your job. So why do I need to compensate you for that? So, bros, do this one. Bros. And it's this same culture that is evident in the Nigerian society. So we're not even talking about the airport, because we can be like, okay, people who are flying through the airport, the international airport, are like bourgeois. There are people who are above like the poverty line.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you now come into the country itself, let's just move away from the airport. You go into a bank, the security guys are harassing you. Bros, find something for your boys now. Bros, drop something. You go to Mr. Biggs or to Chicken Republic or to KFC. The securities are hassling you for money.
For money, man. It's like
Bros,
everybody,
this one.
everybody, every office is everywhere
Exactly.
you go, man. Everywhere,
So,
everywhere.
I kind of question our morality at this point, where like money is actually the main factor that drives people to want to go out of line. Because okay, a customer is walking into the bank to make a transaction, and the moment that customer is walking out, you immediately start to beg them for money.
For money, for
You don't
tip,
even
for
know if
even,
that
you didn't
person
even, you didn't even offer them any service yet.
exactly. You don't even know if that person went in there to discuss with bank on how to refinance the loan that he's owing. You don't even know what the person has gone into the bank to do, but you immediately start to. You don't know if the person have gone in to apply for a loan to start a business and he got denied, or she got denied the loan, and the frustration of that coming out of the bank. Then you still meet them with your troubles like, oh, bros, find something for your boys now. Your boys never eat today. Oh, bros, this. At that point, if you're not doing anything, it's like you're not be sure person.
At all, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
next time you go out there,
they won't even say hi to you.
yeah, exactly, they give you this kind of look where they try to bully you into thinking that you're a bad person, that you're a stingy person, that you're a very selfish person. At the point, I just felt like, you see, if you keep letting these people ride on you by trying to like push you to that corner where you start to question your own character, then you're not going to make anything out of this. So what I just do is I just close my ears to anything they're saying. I just walk straight to the bank, do whatever I want to do, then walk out without giving them any semblance of body contact or any or eye contact or anything. I just don't speak to them.
It's gonna be tough when I go back home. I'm just like, it's gonna be really, really tough, man. I don't know, man. I'm not just gonna say hi. Oh, as soon as I get to the airport, going straight to Ondo State, straight up, man. Lagos, nah, not for me anymore. So what do we have? Do we have to talk about the NBA or not, man? It's been crazy
Woo.
for the past few days now. Finally, I'm so heartbroken. Come on, man. You don't want to know how sad I am right now, and I just
That
have to.
what?
I have to put this out there. I'm not a Lakers fan just because I'm a LeBron James fan. I'm
Okay.
for LeBron. I'm gonna watch all Lakers game. I'm not going to wear any Lakers jersey. I still have all the Cleveland gears, like things I still wear. I still gonna wear them, and I wasn't a Cleveland fan before as well.
Okay.
So I go everywhere where LeBron goes. So I'm not a bandwagon. So just now, I just have to clear the air for everybody who is listening or watching. So what about you?
So
What
what's
do
the
you think?
definition of bandwagon if it doesn't mean like
Bad
switching teams?
No, it's not team. Like bandwagon is like when your team lost, and then you supporting another team that is not yours. Just
There
to
is no characterism of loss in the definition of bandwagon. You have a phone.
we're
Let's
not going
check
to
what
go into the definition.
because-
I'm talking about
you're
that
trying to-
in sport wise.
you're trying to justify why you think you're not a bandwagon.
I'm not a
Meanwhile,
I'm not
what you're
not a
doing
bandwagon.
falls under
No.
bandwagon.
No.
What you're doing falls under bandwagonism.
Dude,
but
okay.
you can make the justification that okay, my own bandwagonism is based on my likeness for a certain player.
Mine
and
is based on
the
player, not
fact-
on team.
Exactly. So
It's not on team.
it's still bandwagonism,
I don't
and
even
I get
watch,
it.
I don't even watch Cleveland game if LeBron is not playing.
And I know a lot of people who are like that. Like there are people who transit with teams.
But
as
the
long as they
thing
are
is,
star
you know
player
what?
transits.
You know why I would consider myself bandwagon. If right now, let's say Lakers doesn't make it to the final, to the playoff, then I jump on Steph Curry's wagon. Like he's my new favorite player, or he's like the guy I've been supporting. I started like rooting for him relentlessly. I would consider myself a bandwagon. In that
A
case,
lot of Lakers fans been doing that since the Lakers became irrelevant. Like
yeah, I know.
they've
Yeah,
been
that's
they jumped to Cleveland.
Yeah, that is what bandwagon is. Like I'm like I've been going with LeBron James for forever, and if LeBron James end up retired, right? If he retires, so I already have my next player in mind.
Who's that?
Antetokounmpo, man. Who
Yeah,
they
the big
expect?
three.
Yeah, who they expect?
Yeah.
Right now, I just keep that on the low, so it's gonna be my next, and I like keep following him. So what do you think of Cousins' move? No, I don't know, man. That move is still snaky to me.
Yeah, like I went to bed in the morning, right? When I saw the message from you that Boogie Golden State, like I
was
didn't
like,
see
no.
that coming. Like
Nobody
no
sees that coming,
way.
man. That's too snaky.
You know, for me, the free agency report I was waiting for has been Dwight Howard to Golden State. Because
I didn't even think of him. I
so
think
that's the center I felt like they were.
Dwight is not gonna take any pay cut.
No, Dwight
He doesn't
was
care about ring.
no.
right
The
now.
thing is, Dwight was traded to Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, but
He
he already
doesn't
bought.
want-
He already bought out the contract.
So exactly. So if it's no, they have not completed the buyout. So
okay.
if he's buying out the contract, then it means he can sign anywhere.
Anyway,
because
yeah.
the Hornets, the Nets are still going to pay him his money anyway. So he's not taking a pay cut because
Yeah.
they're paying him his money anyway. So he's not taking a pay cut, but he can sign anywhere else.
And there's no way Lakers is taking him back because he already played for Lakers before. so-
Now that's one of the report that I read that LeBron he wants to play with LeBron,
okay,
but the problem is that he played one season in Lakers in
it was
LA,
disastrous.
and it was a disastrous season.
Yeah.
And Lakers fan is still fresh in their memories.
Like, I mean, Kobe won't even let him come back to the Lakers.
But
That
then
would be
you
the
know,
biggest
it's
obstacles, right?
more about a new
Management.
right now, and it's more like trying to build a culture. But the thing is, if you have Lance Stevenson, Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard
Oh, that is too
and
much
LeBron
egos,
James
man.
in
Like
one
too
locker
much
room,
egos, man.
in one
Rondo, you
locker
have to be
room-
really careful of Rondo, man.
in
Rondo
one
is
locker
like-
room,
Yeah. No.
then by All-Star break, there's a
No.
trade. There's
Yeah,
going to be a trade for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm sure
that's
of
when
that.
I'm looking at that.
Yeah. Rondo is good. No. Rondo. No.
So I don't know because LeBron likes the guy likes LeBron. So and if you take it or leave it, Dwight Howard is the guy who's still gonna give you double any night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's not like it's just because of his attitude and the fact that he quits
He
on
got
team and
and he
that's
got
just it.
locker rooms problem as well.
Exactly. So it's not like Dwight is not a guy who can give you numbers. He definitely can protect the rim.
He played great last season.
He played well, but the team
Yeah.
was just not good.
Played
And
good
a
last
lot of
season.
players were getting injured. So I get it, but I think a lot of the players didn't like his locker room culture,
Yeah.
which is why he got traded. Because if you look at it, he got traded for a bag of chip. Yeah,
Mask
because-
off.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Come on. You have to be really bad. You have to be doing really
Really, really
terrible.
worse to be traded for Timofey Mozgov.
Oh man.
So for me, I was looking towards seeing Dwight Howard being confirmed as going to the Golden State Warriors, and I felt like if he's in Golden State Warriors, there's probably the only person he can clash with is Draymond Green.
Yeah.
So like that's basically the only person, and either way, they won't need to pay so much to get him. They'll just have to maybe drop like vet minimum or two or
Mm-mm-mm.
something or $3 million to get him. So I felt like that was the deal I was waiting for to hear that was gonna happen. So when I got the Boogie Cousins from you, I was like, wait, let me on my TV first. So
Yeah.
first thing I just went to
woke up to
Twitter.
that. I woke up to that too.
I went to because like I kind of muted my Bleacher Report app for a while now,
Ah, okay.
so I didn't get the notifications. So I was like, I just went straight to Twitter, and then I turned on my TV and I saw like, oh, like all the sports shows were talking about Boogie to the Warriors, and I was like fans won't be able to deal with this. But I feel like the reason why he signed.
But you know, like there has been a lot of mixed reporting on. Like some reports said like a lot other team reach out to him, but it's not just taking it serious or whatever. And there's still long time. There's still time in this free agents, man. You don't even know what will come next to you. But
The
it's just
thing is,
like
there's a difference between reaching out and there's a difference between having an offer. So if you're not having an offer, then it's basically nothing.
you can't
Because
just make
when you look at the
you can't
offer
just make
sheet,
an offer instantly, right? You have to reach
because
out.
you got to
and see
look
what is
at
going
the
on.
offer. So it's when you look at the offers you have, then you look at who is paying me more, who's got what I need as the next step, who's got the talent and whatnot. So and for him, it came down to the Boston Celtics and the Warriors. And like the story that is out there that which he confirmed in his interview that there was no offers on the table, and he was like thinking about it like at his balcony, and he just felt like, okay, let me just do something.
Nah, I don't trust Boogie.
I feel like like this move is just like, you know what? It's a fuck you
Fuck
move.
you, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because
I don't
this
trust
is
him.
one of
Yeah.
the guys who has been criticizing KD's move.
Exactly. And it's
So
like
you,
I
we-
remember one game they played when he was still playing with the King. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, they played
yeah.
against Golden State, and
Yeah.
they're trying to like say hi. I was like,
yeah,
like bullshit everybody. I
he
just
was
left.
like when KD was having an interview, and he just looked like he just shake his head and just walk away. And don't forget, he also had a fight with KD during the season
But
when
had,
he was playing on the Pelicans.
yeah, but they had to call all of them. You know, like before even.
Exactly. So
They have
if
to,
you
like-
look at all of that, those dynamics, you feel like, but why the Warriors? You know, because already it's more like you can't equate.
Warrior doesn't need anybody.
You can't
Like I mean,
equate-
they don't need any superstar. They don't need any all-star player right now. They
Yeah.
don't need anybody, man.
You know, you can't equate Boogie's move to KD's move. It's totally different.
yeah,
because
KD move was
KD's
sneaky,
move is like
sneaky. It was
it's like
sneaky,
number
sneaky.
one or number two player in the world. And if you still got to rank like with Boogie, Boogie's probably number 10 or 12.
Yeah, it's in top 10.
So it's
like
not
a
on
big,
the same
big guy,
level.
Big guy. He's
And
like
and then
top
the
five.
fact that he's not healthy at the moment is also a factor.
that is
and also
big
the
concern.
fact that he's not considered as a good guy
the locker room.
in the locker room. So even the few teams, according to reports, the few teams that had the space to sign him are concerned about the culture, because if you're putting 150 million over 5 years for a guy, that one, you're taking a risk with his health. You don't know if he's going to be healthy, and if he actually is healthy, his attitude is Boogie is going to be Boogie.
Yeah,
Boogie is going to Boogie. So
like, it's
can
gonna
you
bully,
deal with
it's
that
gonna
for
bully
5 years?
everybody.
Because you're paying the guy the max, 150M over 5 years. So can you deal with that for 5 years? Because that's the bigger question.
But yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, if a team just trying to sign him right off, yeah, that is around like 150
And
for
something
5
else
years,
you
yeah.
got to look also with Boogie is that if Boogie goes to Boston Celtics, then there are 3 centers or 4 centers, because you have Goshen Yabusele, Aaron Baines, Al Horford, and Boogie Cousins. So are you going to put Boogie Cousins on the bench for Al Horford, or are you going to put Al Horford on the bench for Boogie Cousins?
I'll bench a Harvard for sure. Maybe
So
like
so
he's
that's
more a little bit
no,
defensive though, but
that's something you're going to look at. That
no,
Boogie's going to be like, I don't want to come off the bench.
Bookie average 25, man. Regular
Yeah,
season.
but if you look at the kind of things that Al Horford can do, that's one of the things. And Al Horford is actually even the much more leader that Boogie is not.
Later.
So you want to bring your team leader off the bench when he can still like give you productive minutes?
Well, if you need the point, why not?
So then for a year contract, so you want to please Boogie for 1 year and offend the guy that you got like for a long term. So you got to look at the dynamics of all of that.
He still can be on the bench and still be a leader.
So I feel like Boogie doesn't want to start from the bench.
He's still going to start from the bench from Golden State anyway.
For Boogie? No way.
I mean, he's not going to be healthy. Just
if once Boogie comes back, nobody starts over Boogie. You know that.
Yeah.
Even if you're playing the small lineup or the big lineup, he's going to be on the floor because he can stretch the floor on the big lineup. On the small lineup, he can stretch the floor. So either way, he's going to be on the floor. He's going to be your starter because with their dead lineup, which is the small lineup, they can't play JaVale McGee. They can't play Zaza Pachulia.
Javel's already in Lakers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, according to, and they can't play. They can also play. Who else? They can play. Okay, the other centers are like small centers, not really big time centers. So with Boogie, he can play under any lineup that Golden State has going because he can shoot threes. I think he made over 100 threes in 48 games.
He was like 34%.
So he made over 100 threes in 48 games. So either way, he's going to be on the floor at all times. So Boogie is not coming off the bench in Golden State. So just imagine the thought of that. And the thing is, if you look at the Houston Rockets, which we see as, okay, the contenders, they've already lost Trevor Ariza, who's their best defender. And they're keeping the same team. And you're meaning the Warriors, who has become even more energized.
More strong.
So,
better, man.
So I don't get it.
The NBA next season is
barring any injury, like the only thing is 2 of their players have to be injured for them not to be able to win the championship.
Yeah, KD and Steph.
So 2 players have to. If one player is injured, I'm sure that Boogie can live up to expectations.
Yeah.
So 2 All-Stars have to be injured.
Like KD and Klay Thompson.
And yeah, exactly. And the thing now is
that's the only way, man.
And the thing is that with these guys, they can just decide that, oh, we're gonna just take it easy during the season.
Yeah.
Then
they don't rush anything.
We're just gonna run all of you guys out.
Playoff that is where it's gonna get broke.
Exactly.
Man.
So that's why they
crazy,
need Boogie. They just feel like, oh,
get crazy. They don't give a shit.
We don't need you for training camp.
Yeah,
we don't need you for, because exactly when you look at October, November, December, there's nothing going on. It's January that is actually when the league starts.
Yeah.
Going towards All-Star break, coming back from All-Star break, that's when you already know which teams are going to make the playoff. And then that's when the league actually starts because there are going to be trades.
Yeah, there's still going to be trades.
There are still going to be trades. So that way, that's when you know who's who and who's playing. And if you also think about the thought that these guys are going to get Jamal Crawford. The Warriors, yeah. The Warriors are going to get Jay Crossover.
How? Like, where the fuck they say the fucking space for all this?
Because guys want the ring. They want to be validated.
Come on, man.
And also, don't forget that Crawford is already 38.
If I have a team, Crawford is going to start my team even when it's 44.
Because Crawford can give you numbers.
Come on. That is...
And don't forget that Crawford was a former Warrior too.
Yeah.
So...
they're coming back home.
So it's like going back home. And now, I just feel like the Golden State Warriors is more like a charity organization now. Because it's helping guys fulfill their dreams.
Their dreams. Their childhood dreams.
You want a championship, come get it.
Come get it.
Just be a good guy. Once Steph likes you and these other guys likes you, come get your ring.
NBA is ringed, man. I don't give a shit what people think. I think NBA is ringed right now. But
then we're not really still sure yet, but... people are kind of waiting for that to be confirmed that Jamal Crawford is going. But the problem with all of this is that if you have Jamal Crawford as a point guard, don't forget you still have Sean Livingston. You have Steph Curry.
Sean Levis, like those one can come. They don't give a shit coming from the bench, you know.
Yeah, but
Sean
how do you
Livingston,
play 4 point guards? You have Team Quinn Cook, Steph Curry, Jamal Crawford, Sean Livingston as 4 players who are point guards.
do you know what?
And then
You know
you
what?
have Green.
You know what Warrior going to do? You know what the coach do? If Golden State is like by the second half, if they're leading and they know this game is easy for them to win, they don't give
Yeah.
a damn. City step down to rest. You know, it's
Yeah.
like injury worried, right?
Yeah.
They have to. They don't give it. But when it comes to playoff, that's
Yeah.
where you know Steph
Yeah, like-
can never be rested.
rested, yeah.
So during the regular season, everybody will got normal playing time. Trust me, everybody will got a good playing time.
Because for me, I'm still looking at the Crawford.
No, that better
thing.
not be real.
I'm feeling like, okay, if you want to sign Crawford, that means you're going to have 4 point guards in a 15 guys roster. So how do you spread the remaining 11 guys around the other positions? Because at least you're going to have 3 centers, because you don't know if Boogie is going to come back normal or if he's going to be able to make it through the season. And either way, you still need 2 centers before Boogie comes back. So you need 3 centers. That's already like 7 players. So how do you fill the remaining 3 positions with the remaining 8 players? So that's a question that I feel like one way to solve that is maybe to let Quinn Cook go, but they already signed Quinn Cook.
Thomas Dale.
No, Quinn Cook is probably earning $2 million or whatnot, because Quinn Cook came to the limelight because Steph was injured.
Oh yeah.
They needed a point guard, and
You mean
Steve
the guy from
Quinn Cook was playing in
G League?
G League,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, from G League.
So since you remember, he played
yeah,
the first series against. Okay, the first series they played was against the San Antonio Spurs. They decided to play Iguodala as their point guard and Sean Livingston as their 2 main point guards. Then also with Quinn Cook. But then, since they felt like the matchup, because you know the San Antonio Spurs are much more taller.
yeah,
Their point guards are like 6'7". Their shooting guards are like 6'5", 6'7". So when they were now playing against the Pelicans, who have guards that are like 6'3", 6'4", which is Rondo and Drew Holiday, they decided to throw in Quinn Cook there because Quinn Cook is like 6'0" or 5'11". So that's how Quinn Cook, they like his performance. Okay,
yeah. He was shooting threes and like
so let's give him 2 years. And I think the first year of his contract is guaranteed, so you can't let him go. So, and now you're trying to bring in Crawford. Crawford is not a swing man that you can be like, okay, Crawford can play small forward. No, he's just a point guard.
He's point guard or shooting guard.
And shooting guard. And I feel like Crawford will work with the Warriors because he can shoot. So he's always going to be open.
Shooter, man. He don't need any more shooter. They already got all the shootout in the league.
Because you know why? A lot of the guys in the league look at Crawford now. In any other team, Crawford will be a guy who will always not be opened. That's why Crawford, he has the most 4-point play in NBA history.
Yeah.
Because somebody is always guiding Crawford. But with the Golden State Warriors, he's going to be open most times. And at 38, that's what he wants. He's not going to be doing so much compared to playing on Minnesota Timberwolves, that you're going to have somebody guiding you, because at 38, you just want to take it easy and try to see if I can get a ring or not. And don't even be surprised.
Yeah, he's the one who should be signing with Golden State, not Boogie.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be surprised if Vince Carter comes on board too. But I know Vince Carter don't want to go, but he's a former Warrior anyway. And I feel like the Warriors organization, they want him not because they want him, but they want him because they can give him a ring.
Yeah, they want him to retire with them.
Yeah, exactly. Because he started with them after Toronto. So he's a former Warrior. And he's one of the guys who built the culture. So for them, they want to reward him like, okay, you're a good guy. But I feel like Vince Carter doesn't want to go. If he wanted to go, he would have done that last year instead of going to Sacramento.
Yeah, I got a reputation, man.
So the moment Matt Barnes left, he would have gone to be the guy. But he decided to go to Sacramento and just forget about it. So yeah, that's that. The free agency is crazy
It's
right
crazy,
now.
man. I can't even read any news.
That's why I
was
tweeted like,
damn it. Man.
with the free agency going on, it just felt like Drake didn't drop an album. Because people who are supposed to be talking about Drake's album are talking about LeBron and Boogie.
But the album, anyway, shout out to Drake. The album is breaking record though. It's breaking Spotify record, like streaming 10 million every day. But anyway, like fuck the album. Like I'm just.
I haven't even listened to it.
I know you're not gonna listen to it. That's why.
Well,
I don't
you already know.
It's like 25 songs. I've listened to it twice. I like few out of it now. It's not just like what I want to hear now.
The NBA just made it seem like that's one thing with pop culture, right? Pop culture is very intertwined. Like when you look at Drake and rap, right? It says that Drake is hosting NBA award. Drake is the ambassador of Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
So all of these things is interwoven with basketball. So that's why black culture is kind of much more even accepted now, because rap and basketball goes hand
together,
in hand.
and
then it also goes into lifestyle.
Yeah, and dress like who want?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to watch? You want to copy a white man dress?
So exactly, like you see the way NBA players dress, and you be like,
fashion.
"Oh, I want to look like that."
Yeah. So and now it's like on my Facebook there are some girls who's like, yo, I started watching football because of this handsome guy. Like most of those good looking black players, like, oh, he's so cute. I was like, so you're watching football? You're watching World Cup just because there's some cute handsome player playing? I was like, yo, man, I have to start playing again. Oh man, what else do we have? Nothing else to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said,
Yes, sir.
this is the Other Room Podcast.
Episode 24.
Oh, I forgot. 24th episode, man. Yo, man. A lot went down last week, so I think I just have to be like clear my mind right now. So this is episode 24. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Peace out.
Yes, sir.